corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys, Joe, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Come on, baby. Go, 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 go. Yes. That's a first down. That's a first down. That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chief Concerns, your post-game show. I'm Marcus Dash. Right there in the middle is former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, and that's my brother on the right, Teja Dash here. Guys, so Chiefs, another win, 5-0, the one of 2 remaining undefeated teams in the league between the Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings. You might see maybe a rematch of Chiefs-Vikings going back 55 years ago to the Fran Tarkenton versus Len Dawson Super Bowl. I don't know, but right now it's shaping up to be that way. But yeah, Chiefs pull away a win, 26-13 over the New Orleans Saints. And a lot of people were saying the Saints had a chance to, take us down. The number 1 scoring offense in the league per game basis, the number 1 red zone defense. A lot of people were talking, a lot of metrics were being thrown around out there about them being such a good team to go against us this week. But nonetheless, I mean, throwback games from Kareem Hunt and JuJu Smith-Schuster really paved the way for this, and on top of the defense just completely dominating as usual. But guys, let's just talk about it. I'm seeing right now on ESPN right now, they have JuJu talking right now. He's the player of the game. What did you make of JuJu Smith-Schuster coming out here and doing what he did when everyone's been questioning the receiver room? JuJu just comes right out and gives us a great throwback Pittsburgh Steelers type performance tonight.
Well, I said this, and I was adamant about it all week. I said that JuJu Smith-Schuster was a guy that had a lot of ability. Once he gets healthy, he can catch a lot of balls. I still say he's a young guy. He's only 28 years old. I hadn't been in the league that long. And it took him coming back here to actually show what he can do. And so once you're healthy and you're able to do what you can do, which he's a great receiver, he can get open. He finds holes and windows. We've seen it tonight. The man has 7 catches for
100.
Jay, did you lose his audio? I lost.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I can't.
Okay. Yeah, JD, your microphone is out. Oh, well, JD gets that figured out. JD? No. I hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it like this. So my thing is, I said, JuJu was a guy that was a very capable receiver, and him going up to New England was one of those where you have, young guys coming in. But JuJu, man, he's a baller. He's always been a guy that has been a dependable possession receiver for us, and he had to show it tonight. Like the same thing, 7 for 130, 18.6 yards a catch. JuJu hadn't lost anything.
A lot of yak too. A lot of yak. 50 yards was his longest reception, I think. I mean, he definitely had a throwback performance. I mean, it might have even been better than any game he had with us 2 years ago. I'm going to even look that up right now. Yeah, I believe it is. So he had one reception that was longer than this back in 2022 for 53 yards. But just a great performance by him. He keeps playing this way, or he's going to make another good contract after this, either here or somewhere else. He's got something left in the tank. Andy Reid did say he liked the way he looked in practice, and maybe he saw something that we didn't, and he needed to get up to speed again. Maybe he just went to New England and just either dogged it or got healthy over there and then came back when he's fully healthy. But he looked fantastic, and definitely a good piece moving forward for us. And Patrick, by the way, I don't know what it is. It's really odd, but it almost seems like he's more comfortable when we have less weapons. Like, this is the best he's looked all year, by the way. It just looked the most comfortable he's looked all year, too. With what's going on out there, the passes were more crisp. Maybe he just got so used to throwing to, like, not top end talent that he, like, when he had it all in the field laid out in front of him, it wasn't as easy for him. I don't know. I'm just totally speculating and spitballing. But it just seems like he's much more comfortable with less weapons out there.
Well, I'll say this, and I think this is really a good point. Tom Brady went for a number of years without having top-tier talent as wide receiver. Before Randy Moss got up there, he was winning. And so what they were having to do, guys were coming in and they plug and play. That's what they were doing. And it's the same thing with Patrick. I don't think you had to have this, and this is really kind of my argument. I don't think you had to have the number one guy receiver. We got rid of Tyreek Hill, and we won 2 championships without him. And everybody wondered, what are we going to do without a Tyreek Hill? Well, we win championships. We hold up Lombardies. That's what we do. And so it's based off what the scheme of the offense is. You have the best quarterback in football. It's all about scheming against defenses. If guys can get open, guys can catch the football, you're going to be fine. You need dependable guys. You don't need the best guy. You need dependable guys. We see what the best guy happened when he went out there to Vegas, when it ended up happening. Now all of a sudden he's looking to get traded. That's what's happening to the top tier guy. That's what ends up happening. And so when you start looking at certain guys, where they're going and whatnot, Justin Jefferson was up there with Kirk Cousins. He ends up getting hurt. Well, shoot, they haven't won anything. Now all of a sudden you got what's name up there? You got Sam up here throwing the ball around without top tier talent. It's the same thing. So sometimes we get in the woods, sometimes or in the weeds, if you will, sometimes, because we always think the guys that's having the top tier talent is always going to win. And it's not. It's all about team chemistry. It's about guys doing their job. If guys getting open, catching the football, that's what it's all about. So it's not always the most talented team that wins. It's the team that knows how to win. The teams that know how to do what they do the best, that's going to get you a victory. I could go to college. Look at Vandy beating Alabama. They weren't the most talented team. Alabama's the most talented team than they are Vandy. But Vandy had a scheme. The guys did their job and kicked the crap out of them. And nobody thought that was going to happen. Well, when you start running your plays and everybody is playing the way they're supposed to play, then you come out with, the results that you're going to get. And so we seen that tonight, man. We seen that tonight. It didn't take much other than saying, let's get Travis Kelce the football. Let's get Kareem Hunt the football. Let's start running the plays that we run, right? JuJu, shallow crosses, hand the ball off to Xavier Worthy, McCole Hardman comes in. He gets a lot of plays. I mean, Cole Hardman, what do he have tonight? When did he have it?
4 for 33.
Yeah, I mean, four. McCole Hardman is all he's been doing is returning punts.
Yep.
It hadn't worked out for him. So that's what I say. And I always take the best.
And he gets some extra effort on that one where he got that first down, where he's like, they had to push him a little bit forward to get that first down. But, that play looked like it was dead after like the 2 yards before the first. But, he kept moving those legs, kept churning. But to your point, Teja, Next Gen Stats released a stat here. Patrick Mahomes accumulated nearly all of his passing production on attempts under 15 air yards, 331 yards in the Chiefs Monday night win. Yeah, I mean, and also Mahomes did not throw into any tight window on any of his 39 pass attempts tonight. So, I mean, he was just taking the underneath. He was taking what we've been saying, what the defenses are giving him, which is like, I feel like the first few weeks he was trying to air it out. Yeah, we saw him take some shots tonight, but there were timely shots he was taking. But it seemed like he was holding on to the ball more when he had more of the weapons. And then tonight he was just, seeing if the guy was open, he was taking it. And that's kind of what he wanted. It's kind of what he did last year. It's kind of what he did 2 years ago when he won the MVP. So, I mean, that is what he should have been doing all along, I'd say.
It's a very early 2000s Patriots team is what it feels like. Those teams that used to go against the Patriots and you go into it not only rooting for the other team, but you'd be like, oh, man, they could lose this game. Like, look at that team. They're not that good. Like, who do they got out there? They got Deion Branch, Bethel Johnson, David Patton. Dude, Jets are going to win tonight. They're going to win. I'm taking the Jets. Put $100 on the Jets. And then they just come out and, just methodically beat you and, dominate them. And you're like, then when you're watching, you're like, this team can't do anything against them. And it almost seems within reach in the game. Because this game did too, right? We should have been beating them by a lot more, but we weren't. It was kind of a close game scoreboard-wise, but it just felt like domination. And you look at all the stats, it was. I mean, we absolutely obliterated them. I mean, doubled the time of possession almost. Yeah, 20 to 39, 56. Total yards, 220 to 460. I mean, it should be way worse than 13 to 26. The one issue we had, and, they are a good team at this, is red zone defense. And they did a good job in the red zone. 2 of 7. 7 red zone trips is ridiculous, but 2 of 7's not good.
We did kind of bite ourselves in the foot there in the red zone. The quick slant to JuJu, which turned out to be a great interception by Colin Saunders. We should have run the ball there. I don't know what we're doing there. Just run the ball with Kareem Hunt 2 times. I mean, I just thought there was
once.
No, I know. I'm just saying you run it. Just keep going to him until he doesn't get in. I mean, he's falling 4 for 4 yards every time he touched the ball tonight. So I didn't really like that. That was a one. But talking about JuJu, this is an interesting stat I saw. So JuJu had 130 yards in the night. His last 100-yard game was October 23rd, 2022 at the 49ers when he had 124 yards for Kansas City. This 130 yards, the most yards he's had since January 10th, 2021. That was in a playoff game with Pittsburgh. 157 yards against the Browns. And then before that, it was the most regular season yards he's had in a game, and that's December 9th, 2018 against the Raiders. So this was a real throwback night for JuJu Smith-Schuster. And a lot of Patriots fans are pissed off because they feel like he produced more in this game than he did all year for them last year. I think pretty close.
It is pretty close, I think.
Just this game alone, which is kind of wild.
He had 260 last year, so yeah, it's pretty close.
But like we were saying, man, it's sometimes it matters where you are. It really does. And I said this before. Bill Belichick is a guy that's not going to suffer fools or people being hurt. He's going to demand you come out there and you play and all those different things. And that's the organization. I think that's the reason that he's out of football right now, to be honest with you, just for the simple fact that maybe he didn't want to turn over a new leaf with some of these new guys, but also, too, trying to manage and maintain guys and their health. For him, it was like, hey, why do we have to wait for you? This is the New England Patriots. Okay, you should be wanting to play here. We're champions up here. So I think guys don't understand when you get into a different culture, how these things really, how they operate. what guys really don't want to be. And so I think that affected him a lot. And just like Mayo was talking about, say, hey, man, we just need the JuJu get healthy. So we gave it to younger guys. Well, JuJu had a whole off season to get healthy during the, the preseason and training camp to get healthy. Now, he didn't have high maintenance, coming through these first few weeks. It was Rashee Rice that was catching all the balls. Now, JuJu, we've seen what he can do. And I said this, man. Hey, fellas, man, it was only 2022 when we had JuJu. Man, it hadn't been that long. I just, for me, I think because we don't see things immediately, or if somebody has a bad year, it doesn't work or something, I think everybody just believes it's not the same guy. And I do believe that systems do matter. They do matter. We've seen that all the time when, kind of talking about New England, how many guys, coaches left New England and try to take the Patriots way somewhere else, and it just didn't work. So the system didn't work.
Yeah, not having Mac Jones also helps too.
Well, yeah.
Well, I will say the Belichick thing's valid, but it was Mayo that eventually released JuJu. So Mayo himself couldn't wait for him to get healthy. So it wasn't only Belichick who did that. Mayo, I guess, lost patience with.
So you don't think Mayo being offshoot of Belichick, like literally, I'm sure he's hearing anything from Belichick as far as just your team now. He got everything for Belichick as far as who to keep, who not to keep, and get rid of. I guarantee that happens.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I just wanted to be fair. It wasn't actually Bill who got rid of him in the end. It was Mayo. So Mayo wanted him to be healthy, but he couldn't wait for it either. I will say, even with this game, I still want to go get a receiver, because even in 2022, with JuJu being 2022 JuJu, we still traded a third for Tony that year. So even with that team, we still thought it was worth a third-round pick to put us over the edge. And without Tony, we don't win the Super Bowl because of that punt return. So to be fair, adding a receiver that year helped us win the Super Bowl. So by that same token, if you want to say it's the same team as 2022, that's fine. Then we should go get a receiver then with a third or fourth round pick.
Actually, I said it's better than 2022 is what I said. I've been saying that, Teja. Okay.
This Kelsey's not better than that, Kelsey.
It's definitely better than 2022. Absolutely. And Xavier Worthy is better than an MVS. Better than an MVS. You disagree with that?
2022 MVS is better, compared to 2024 Worthy? I don't know. We'll see what his stats are.
No
we'll
way.
See. Let's see if he gets 700 yards this year receiving. I don't know if he will.
Well, I think he already has more touchdowns than that 2022 MVS, Teja. And I'm talking about total touchdowns.
That's because Kelsey had 1,311.
Right, but we're talking MVS and the total.
We're talking 2022 versus 2024 is what we're really doing.
Yeah, and then
overall,
and that Xavier Worthy's already got more touchdowns than that entire year that MVS had. What are you talking about? He's a more dynamic player, dude.
That's not going to undo the difference of Kelsey versus Kelsey. We're going to miss 700 yards of Kelsey.
We're talking about MVS and Worthy's.
No, we're not. We're talking about total receiving and tight end yards, touchdowns, and reception first 2 seasons, dude.
Well, listen. First off,
my first point was different Kelseys.
Well, okay, different Kelseys. But what we've seen this past couple of weeks, right, is old Kelsey from 2022 throwing the football. He's getting open. He's catching the football now. Maybe some things that they're doing a little bit differently to get him open. And the thing is, if Kelsey let's say he gives us, I said 70 to 80 catches. If he's doing that, right? He don't need to have 1,700 yards. How many yards? He don't even need that. And I'm saying this because our running game, when is as dominant as it is now with Kareem Hunt, if Kareem Hunt's running the way he's running, okay, that changes things offensively, scheme-wise. I mean, it opens up your whole offense now, what you can do. Now you got 4 like legit tight ends. They had 14 personnel on the field. How many times have you ever ran that before, having 14 personnel? Never. So now you got like 4 legit tight ends that can catch football. You got a Jody Fortson, you got Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, and Jared Wiley. You ain't even heard Jared Wiley's name because he don't really get no catch.
Yeah,
right?
No need, I guess.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. So now all of a sudden, let's just say you taper off, right? And if you take and let's say you take and put to whatever you want to do. So let's say JuJu comes out and still catches 60 balls. right? He's on pace for it now. Now all of a sudden it changes. Travis Kelce doesn't have to have the 100 catches he made in 2022. Okay. You start getting McCall Hardman some looks. Justin Watson's a better player than he was in 2022. It was just like, and so we started looking at different guys. Now look, Tage, I'm not taking away. Okay. I'm not against getting another guy on the team. I'm not against that at all. But what I have been saying, okay, and I have been politicking, is people don't quite understand how good of a receiving group that we do have. And I get that we had Rashid Rice. I get that we had Hollywood Brown, okay? Those are two tremendous players. But we never had a Hollywood Brown before. Never had him. Okay?
We never had a period.
Right.
He didn't play
Exactly.
for us.
Right. So the man never suited up for the Chiefs, really.
We had him in spirit.
Yeah, we have him in spirit. And I love that he's here and he's still engaged with all those different things. And that's what I love about him. But we never had his talent. And we won. We won. And that's what I keep telling. Like, we won 2 Super Bowls without these guys. We keep going to go get Devontae Adams and go get Cooper and all these other guys. Why?
I don't agree with the Adams thing. I don't think we need to make that big of a splash. I just think we need a Tony, a comparable type of move, that same level of attempt. I think I want him to be better than Tony, but who we wanted Tony to be, I think we need to make that kind of move for somebody. We don't need a top 10 receiver. I think it's unnecessary. I just think we need one more guy because we can't afford for anyone else to go down. And if we don't make a move, it's irresponsible for us, I think, to not make a move and one more guy go down and us be like, oh man, we trade deadline pass. We should have made a move, but we didn't because JuJu had 130 yards in week 5. We just can't do that. We can't say because JuJu someone needs to go off for 120 every game. Someone has to do that at this point. I just think we need one more guy to help distribute that, so one guy doesn't have to go off for 120 and have some career night against it. You say yourself, Marcus hasn't done this in 5 years. Like we can't expect that every week, and we should have to rely on that every week. You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't have to.
Hopefully a different guy steps up every week. I mean, our first round pick had 30 yards tonight. So I mean, hopefully he has his game.
I think that's been his average this year. That's the problem. It is 30 yards.
I don't think we need a guy to go 120 yards every night. No, when you divvy it up, you don't have to have that guy to be Superman. Like I love the distribution, and when you have somebody you distribute the ball to, like you don't need somebody to be 120. I think we got to the point where we start relying on Rashid Rice, and almost going to the point, right, to where Patrick was going to Rashid Rice. He started getting so comfortable going to Rashid Rice all the time that you don't utilize anybody else. To the point, Travis Kelce wasn't even getting goal catches. And so when you start doing that, right, and Rashid Rice is a great wide receiver, we know that, okay? I'm emphatic about those things. But then all of a sudden, like you said, well, shoot, Patrick's like, well, let me divvy up to different guys if they're getting open, right? Let's call some things like Andy said. We need to put guys in a position to make plays. So we know we have playmakers that are fast, and this is what I'll try to tell people all the time. Not only we have Xavier Worthy, we got McCole Hardman, who's another fast guy, okay, who can get down the field. JuJu, who's a possession receiver. Justin Watson could come in and make some catches. We just moved up Nico Remigio, everybody calling for that. We've seen Justin Ross, them guys, maybe, looking at those guys, maybe giving a little bit. We don't need, like I said, the top guy. If you want to go get somebody that, like you said, maybe a Kadarius Toney, who say he's not already here? Who say he's not that? He's not around in the building. Nico Remigio could give us something. Justin Ross is another guy we've been talking about. But
because if they were, we wouldn't have tried to sign the best receiver in free agency and draft the first-round receiver if we thought they were in the building already. That's what.
Well, here's the thing. We kept Kadarius Toney around for a reason too, right? Apparently, he's up there in Cleveland freezing his tail off. So we see something in him, and we got rid of him quick. So even before that, we were just thinking, look, let's go ahead and get Hollywood Brown, right? We got Xavier Worthy. So what we was looking at, we was like, man, we're just going to make this the best offense ever. We want to give Patrick things to throw ball to, deep balls.
Yeah.
And look, thank God for it. I know that's what they was working on during training camp, and all of a sudden, those plans crumbled.
Oh, yeah.
They crumbled quick.
Then
it was like, and I'm telling you, like, offensively, during the offseason, coaches write scripts for all the guys that you have, the weapons, okay? And that's what they were getting ready for. All during training camp, they were like, we got Hollywood Brown to do this. We just got Xavier Worthy in here for right. We got Rice in here now. We can do all these different things. Man, they was giddy. I guarantee they was giddy in offensive meetings. Like, oh, man, we going to just sack the world. We just going to be putting up numbers week in and week out. And then Hollywood Brown gets hurt. Then all of a sudden, Rasheed Rice is out for the entire year. And then it's like, now we got to really coach a little differently from what we thought we had to do. So
that's what I said last week. It's an identity shift. We're ball control, get first downs team.
I love that coming out second half. We just start running the football. I'm like, I love that mindset. I love it because it softens up defenses, but also it too opens up the middle for guys. Now they have to worry about the run. They had to worry about stopping Kareem Hunt. They had to worry about Carson Steele coming in and making a couple of runs, still hard runs. And I love it, man, because some jokers back there, man, are a load. They are a load. And Kareem Hunt, man, able to like that little jump through and skip and turn his body and get skinny. I mean, we haven't seen that. It's just two different running styles. And I said this last week between him and Pacheco. It really is. And Kareem Hunt is a true bell cow, when he's running the football. So,
yeah, let's continue to talk about Kareem Hunt. So 27 carries, and we talked about right before we got on. The 27 carries that Kareem Hunt had tonight would be Pacheco's career high. Pacheco's never had more than 24 carries in a game before. So it tells you the trust this coaching staff has in Kareem Hunt. The guy who was off, he was off for a year. They bring him back, 14 carries on a game he wasn't supposed to have, barely played last week. And then a week later, when he's dealing with a apparent shoulder injury, which obviously is probably just more, a little dinged up after not playing ball for a year, 27 carries, and I think he had 2-3 catches on top of that. 27 for 102, and then looking at this, Kareem Hunt's 102 rushing yards, or his most in a game since 2020 with the Browns. That was 1,422 days ago. So talk about throwback games for JuJu, another throwback game for Kareem Hunt tonight. And quite frankly, when he said a couple weeks ago that he hasn't lost a step, he's the same guy he was in 2018, I thought that was, what's a guy supposed to say about themselves? But I don't know. I think at this point, I got to take him as a word because this defense we played against, that's no joke defense. I know Barkley ate them up, but outside of Barkley, no one had more than 60 yards against them on the ground. And this guy comes off for not doing anything for a year. It comes in and goes 27 for 102 against them. I mean, Kareem Hunt, he looks like the guy that we let go 7 years ago.
Yeah, shoot. And the thing is, it was probably good because Nick Chubb was the guy that was getting all the runs, and so he didn't have a whole lot of mileage on his legs like that. And the same thing, he had a chance to get healthy. He looks a lot better. He looks like he's in shape. And I think Teja said this a couple of weeks ago. That sucker looked like when he was up in Cleveland, looked like he was eating a whole lot of the calzones and whatnot. So that joker thinned down a little bit. So I don't know if he was thinking about getting some of that barbecue in him so he could gain a little weight, or he felt like now is the time I could come in and just show what I can do like I did before. So
he's getting a lot of corned beef on rye up there in Cleveland.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, he is. Yeah, it. I want a bit of that. I'll try some of that right there, too. What do you call that right there? I take a spoon of those things. So
Cleveland known for the Polish boy. The glorious, messy marriage of kielbasa, coleslaw, French fries, and barbecue sauce.
Damn.
That'll make you gain weight. That'll make you gain weight real fast. Yeah, he looked great. Well, it was actually pretty funny. There wasn't a double-digit run in this entire game by either team.
Yeah, just grinded out 4 or 5 yard runs, man.
9 was the highest run. That's very, very Pacheco-like game, actually. 27, 102, and 8. 8 was his long. Kareem Hunt's long. Just couldn't get past that second level, huh? But it was a Pacheco game, and we constantly had a lot of third and shorts. It was 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. So it was always a third and manageable. It was always a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2. I'd love to go over the numbers and see how many third and shorts we had. I wish our third down numbers were better than that, but it's okay. I think we're 42% today. But he did exactly what we needed, and that's the kind of identity we need to have, right? Just manageable third downs, move the chains, ball control, 40 minutes to 20 minutes. I mean, team can't score if they don't have the ball, right? All we need to do is just kind of give him the ball more in the red zone. It's funny too, because that was his strength in Cleveland, was scoring in the red zone. And we didn't give him the ball in that one series down there by the 5 where he should have, and he would have gotten in probably. And then we threw a pick instead. So that's the one thing. Let him eat closer to the red zone, let him score. And we would have beat him by what? It would have been like a 30 or 33-23. But he looked great. And it's interesting how we're giving him so many carries so early on. It just shows the trust we have in him, and we know that he's built for this.
2nd and 2 on the 2-yard line. How about we trick him? Yeah, let's do that. How about we trick him? Let's throw the little old underneath slant route.
I like the Kelsey play. If you look at it going in from our view, he should have had that. I can't believe he didn't. He thought he could just like muscle through and power through and get in over Saunders in that play. Saunders did a great play on that one.
Colin Saunders had been playing against the Chiefs for a number of years. He's seen that play over and over again. I guarantee he was telling defense, you watch how he swims the defender or the offensive lineman. He swims to get over top of him, and he's just right there on Travis Kelce. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, this sucker's done seen this plenty of times before. He's done let them know, watch the shovel pass. Watch it, because it looked great.
It was there.
It was there.
I needed that for fantasy too. I'd hold my game for that. I was devastated by that. So I was like, come on, man. That play was well drawn up. It's like he made the play there. If he didn't make that play, that was scoring. But after that, run the ball. Run the ball the next one. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just oh man. The whole trick, like you don't have to trick them. You don't have to do that. Like, do it on 3rd down if you want to try that. If 3rd, if you want. Heck, you're right there at the 2-yard line. Like, you should try. It should 4-down territory. I'm thinking 4-down territory. And look, as a guy that, took pride in blocking, I know the linemen are thinking the same thing. Like, you got to run the football down there. Let us go man on man, hit them dead in the mouth, come out the football, and score with our man. Like, there's a pride factor for guys that block, linemen in particular, that when you do throw the ball on that, it's like, what are we doing? Why are we throwing the football? See what happens? It's intercepted. It's intercepted. And so I get, being clever, trying to play chess, but then all of a sudden you start playing against yourself. And it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? Like, there's no reason for that. And that's what you were talking about as far as taking points off the board. But we should have whooped this team by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Easy. Turnovers, penalties. I mean, taking us out of field position. It's crazy. Juwan Taylor, that the holding call, took a touchdown off the board. And he was pissed. He should have been. It's like, hey, he's looking around like, oh, man, the heck, he had him by his neck. Come on, man. Like, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. So, oh, man.
Linemen are like NBA players when they get fouls called on. They're like, what? What? Are you kidding me? Like, what, me? Like, they do it more than anybody. They're like, what? They're looking at the board like, even when they see the replay, they're like, no, that's not a hole. That's not a hole. It's like, dude, you were all over him. What are you talking about?
Right. Oh, they would do it straight up. I'm straight up. I'm straight up. Like,
and I know it wasn't in the red zone, but that wasn't the worst play. The worst play was that Carson Steele reverse.
That was bad.
Oh boy, that could if they would have lost it on that play, that would have been one of our first topics tonight.
It's still pretty, even though he didn't lose it, it's still your 3rd fumble in 3 weeks, man. That's not good at all. I mean, like, I thought we weren't going to see him again after that, but then he was on the next play. But, I mean, JD, is that like, I know you talk about how drops can be a mental thing, dropping the pass. What about fumbling? Would you say that's a mental thing? I mean, like you just think you got 3 points, tuck that thing away. I mean,
no, I don't think it was really on him. I think he was trying to pass off to Worthy. I think it was going to be a double reverse.
right?
Or hand off to a reverse, but
He should have held on to it.
Yeah, he's a young guy and he's just trying to do what they tell him to do, right? So he's trying to play like I'm trying to hand the ball off. I'm trying to give the play. Like he doesn't got the confidence, creativity just to tuck it and run. I think he's still trying to do, what he's supposed to do the right thing, right?
Especially after the fumble, he's trying to go by the book.
Absolutely. Here you go, by the book. Yeah.
You can tell me to hand off, I'm handing off. I don't care if it's someone breathing on my neck, I'm handing off.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we gotta capture that edge. Travis got to capture that edge on that. Like you can't. That's the one play you can't let him in the backfield. And so that one right there was on Trav, just getting back there, man. So, so I don't really put it all on him. I don't like the play call in itself, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. And also too the Xavier Worthy touchdown. I know it was a touchdown, but that was again we're like the 3 yard line. All of a sudden we have Mahomes in the pistol, like Kelsey taking the step. Like, oh no, what are we doing here? And then obviously it was a stretch play, that went for 6. But at first I saw that play. I'm like, oh no, what are we doing here? What kind of ridiculousness are we gonna do here? But then it ended up working out. But sometimes, man, he scares the Jesus out of me when I see some of these designs.
You know what? They could care less what we think, and they're gonna run what they want to run, and they'll live with it. They'll live with it. So, as much as we want, I run the football. Sometimes you hear Andy like, "Yeah, we probably should have ran the ball there." But if something works, you're like, "No, yeah." Like, "Oh, okay, all right, it worked."
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Too cute. Too cute.
Yeah. Mike Brennan actually said, "Man, JD, have you ever seen 14 personnel? 4 tight end formation?" Is what he said. No, I have not. Most teams don't carry 4 tight ends; they only carry 3. So seeing 4 tight end formation is non-existent. Only the Chiefs. Wow. Because our tight ends are so good that you could do something like that.
And 3 of them have been in the system for a long time. I mean, if you include Jody, I mean, he's been around the system for a while.
Yeah. And he's a glorified wide receiver. He's a wide receiver playing tight end.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It was interesting to see the 4 tight ends. But also too, we only carried 5 receivers tonight. I know a lot of people thought Remigio or Ross was going to get pulled up, but no, they went with 5. And I will say, I know JD, you stuck up for Sky Moore last week, but we didn't really see much of him. We saw more McCole Hardman. It became in reverse where like we want to see other guys, get rotations in. We finally got to see a little bit of McCole Hardman, but that came at the cost of not seeing much Sky Moore tonight. So that was something. But
Man, hey, look, it's all about your production. And the thing is, McCole Hardman needed to get some touches in the game. And I said I was tired of him just getting. It's a shame to waste him on punt returns. And I sit there and tweet out, like, I have no idea what's going on with the punt returns, but it looks terrible. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. They're not holding guys up. I don't know if it's the gunners. We're not holding that guy up, but we need to give him some looks, some lanes he could run through. But it looks disastrous. It does. It shouldn't look that way, especially when you have room. At least you have room to run. And so if somebody's coming off their block, you need to get in that guy's, you need to get in his tail. You need to. So so we saw Moore drop a punt. He didn't drop a punt. It was a kickoff return.
Yep.
Is what he dropped. So, but yeah, McCole Hardman needs to be, that's the reason I asked him to come back here last year. I was like, man, he needs to be back here last year. Shoot. We kept talking about how good he was at speed and all those different things. And then all of a sudden this year become non-existent. Why? Because we had guys that, we wanted to share, to show.
And it feels like we trust. It feels like we trust McCole Hardman more than we do Xavier Worthy with quick screens. I mean, I feel like some of those you could give Xavier Worthy some of those quick screens. But they were giving him the bubbles and the quick screens.
Well, I mean, Nicole's good at it. We see it for a number of years to do it. So,
yeah. Okay, so to go to the defensive side of things. So obviously, again, another amazing game. 7 points in the first half of the game, and then 6 points, allowing 6 points in the second half. I think I saw on the telecast it's the best second half defense in the league as far as points allowed. And again, for a team, it's like such a 360 because I remember for not so long ago where when the opposing team would start running the ball against us, they would get 8 yards here, 9 yards here, 6 yards here, 7 yards here. It's just teams can't run the ball against us anymore.
Yep.
And I don't know what it is, JD, because it feels like we trust McCole Hardman more than we do Xavier Worthy with quick screens. I mean, I feel like some of those you could give Xavier Worthy some of those quick screens, but they were giving him the bubbles and the quick screens.
Well, I mean, Nicole's good at it. We've seen it for a number of years to do it. So,
yeah. Okay, so to go to the defensive side of things, so obviously, again, another amazing game. 7 points in the first half of the game, and then 6 points, allowing 6 points in the second half. I think I saw on the telecast it's the best second half defense in the league as far as points allowed. And again, for a team, it's like such a 360 because I remember for not so long ago where when the opposing team would start running the ball against us, they would get 8 yards here, 9 yards here, 6 yards here, 7 yards here. It's just teams can't run the ball against us anymore.
Yep.
And I don't know what it is, JD, because it's the same counterpart, same rotation of guys next to Chris Jones, but it just seems like these guys have stepped up their play or something. Because obviously Wharton's been amazing, but like these are the same guys who were on that D line when teams were getting these chunky yards against us, running the ball. But now no one can run crap against us anymore. It's the same guys. What are you seeing from the D line that's just stifling teams' run games, JD?
Warrenton's playing a lot more than what he had been in the past. That's one. He's coming out the football a lot better, a little bit more. I think he realized he's undersized. So what he has to do is he's got to use his speed and quickness and his power to get past guys. And so what you do is offensive lineman, you get into the chest before they hit you, then you win. You got to play on their side of the ball, and it helps out tremendously. And so what they've been able to do, Warrenton, I've seen him doing a great job of taking 2 guys. They're actually trying to double team him, but he's doing a good job of pushing the 2 guys back. What we've seen before was actually our defensive line getting pushed, into the laps of our linebackers. And anytime you see those things happen, then it doesn't gel well for us. I wanted to give a shout out, man. I'll probably put it on Twitter, man. The right guard for New Orleans Saints, man, was Landon Young. That's the guy I coached in high school. That's my guy. So
awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. He great kid, man. Great family. I'm at to text him and let him know, man, I'm proud of I couldn't cheer for him, of course, but I just wanted to see what he's going to be able to do. So
was he one of the ones hugging Chris Jones all game?
Yeah, he was
they all were. So yes,
yeah.
And they all do. So he's a member of the NFL doing that.
He learned that from me. If you can't beat him, hug him, hold him. Too. Put the meat hooks on him. Get your hands inside and you hold. So, but I think it's a lot of the difference, man. I think Warrenton's been playing a lot better, a lot more than what he used to, and so we start seeing Nandi and Pennell start coming in a little bit later on, and the mix is not using Chris as much. So they got a whole different fire to them. And I knew that they've always known they had it in them. Now they're starting to show. So
it's almost like our offense a few years ago where we just took it for granted. We just expected greatness like week after week after week. That's kind of what our defense is now. It's not even surprising. I'd be very, it's so different that I'd be very upset if we gave up like 24 to 30 points in a game right now. Whereas a few years ago, I'd be happy with us giving up like 20, 22, 23 points in a game, because our offense could score 30 plus. Just defense, just keep them to like 20, 24, and we're fine. Now it's like, they're shutting teams down. We're now down to, I remember I said last week, the running backs allowing yards per carry. We're down to 3. We're down to 3 yards per carry to running backs. We shut down both Jamal Williams and Kamara tonight. Kamara 2.4 per carry, man. Couldn't do anything. We were all over them. Even on some of those screens, too. Kamara still had 6 for 40 on 8 targets, but a few of those, like Carr couldn't even get the ball to him. He was just thrown to the dirt. And I gotta say, Carr, it was a nice pass for that TD. And I'll tell you what, he threw a dime on that one where he got nailed on. Dude just couldn't catch the ball. So kudos to him. If he caught that, this game would have been a little more uncomfortable, possibly. So that was a good pass, but we were all over them all night. Another great game plan by Spags. We just have a really good, an elite combination of defensive coordinator calling plays and the players on the field. It's like when you watch like just a cinematic genius, right? When you have a great director, great writing, great acting all in front of you. You're like, man, I'm watching something like epic right now. That's what I feel like our defense is. It's just it's a combination of players who just fit the system well, know the system well, know how to play it. They're an extension of him, and he's just a master puppeteer out there.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, you're talking about the last 2 weeks, man. You had Bijan Robinson and Alvin Kamara, and neither one of those guys could sniff. I mean, when I'm talking about absolute domination, the great thing that I saw Spags do was assign Nick Bolton to Alvin Kamara in the backfield. And once he started doing that, he tried to catch one on the screen, and Nick Bolton was right on him. And so when he started running man a little bit on Alvin Kamara, you could see what they were able to do. And so I think the defense played masterful. The throw to the tight end was a good play, great play design by them, throwing over Chanel. Just to kind of get your eyes flowing one way and throw back the other. And he really sold that play. If it wasn't that, man, these jokers wouldn't even. I mean, we're talking like dominating a team like this. This was absolutely a beautiful, beautiful defensive football game, completely. And like you said, the one the deep route to Sheed. If we got some pressure on Carr on that one, it'd have been a little bit different. I seen some. I was like, man, we keep bringing the pressure. First half, we was bringing the pressure, kind of got him on his heels a little bit, got him a little antsy about moving around. And I think we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit, somewhat. But then he brought it back toward the end of the game. But like you said, man, Spags, man, he conductor called a beautiful, beautiful game. He really did.
So good, man.
Yeah, now Carr is 3-15 against the Chiefs all time. Yeah, that's rough. Just looking at the running backs we played, so all the feature backs. So Derrick Henry, 13 for 46. Zach Moss, 12 for 34. Bijan Robinson, 16 for 31. J.K. Dobbins, 14 for 32. And then Alvin Kamara, 11 for 26.
Jeez.
And these aren't just names. These are like elite running backs.
Heavy hitters. Yes, sir.
I mean, they're Henry has annihilated teams last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like, after that game, I even thought a part of it was because that was week 1. I didn't know how legit our run defense was. I thought maybe Henry might have been done or on his way to being cooked. But then you realize, oh, shoot, no, he's not. He's still Derrick Henry. It's just that our run defense is elite. And you see Bijan, who's, probably maybe a better pass catcher than runner, but still to do that against him. And then Kamara, yeah, I mean, and Dobbins has been killing teams too.
Yep.
Yeah, he was leading rusher at one point.
So, I mean, it's really impressive, and it puts the quarterback of those teams in such a tough position because you're not establishing the run. You're not getting a good rhythm. It's pretty much a waste of a down. You got 2nd and 9 coming at you, and you got 3rd and 6 or 7 coming at you. It just puts them in a tough 3rd and long, and they have to try to convert those every time.
Mm-hmm.
Was this this is the first game of the year where we didn't allow a point on the first drive, turnover on the first drive, a nasty Brian Cook interception?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pressure. right in his face.
Yeah.
Another week where our first half outscoring the second half too, as far as points allowed.
7-6. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
close, but yeah.
I was very close on my prediction. I had 21-10 was my prediction this week. So close to that.
Oh yeah.
4 for 5 on my bets because Xavier Worthy had 3 catches, not over 3.5 catches.
Oh,
You kidding?
Nah.
It's brutal.
Justin Watson, no catches for you, Teja. What was the other one that you failed on?
4.5. 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said
Mahomes just got that over, though. He just got that over on the Russian.
No.
He just nailed that. Just by up, I think, a yard.
Yeah, JD, Teja, I remember Teja took 2+ catches for Justin Watson.
No.
Zilch tonight.
Yeah.
It was interesting. For the first few drives, it looked like he was throwing to just tight ends and running backs. I don't think he hadn't completed a catch to a receiver to like midway through the second quarter or something like that, if I remember.
You know why, right? He's practicing against our defense every day. He's like, man, tight ends and running backs. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Play after play. They're wide open every play. And then he gets out there against other defenses and he's like, oh, wait, no. Hold on. I'm not playing against my own team. I can throw to receivers again.
It's funny you say that. Most of his completions tonight were to running backs and tight ends. As Derek Carr, I mean. He went 18 of 28. 13 of those went to Kamara, Juwan Johnson, and Foster Moreau.
Yeah, it was just Shaheed pretty much.
Yeah. Olave was non-existent in this game.
Non-existent. Talking about guys we should target. Target him.
Seriously. Yeah. JD, you have a question here from Orgvism. If Rice is able to come back by the playoffs, what kind of performance can we realistically expect?
I think he's still hurt, man. I think you're trying to speed him back for no reason. I think they understand that he's done. I think they've had a good evaluation to know, like, look, this is it. This is it. And if he's going to have surgery, I don't think you speed a guy like him back. It'll only be detrimental for him going into the future. And so we need it for another 2 years before he's going to be looking for a legit huge contract. So,
yeah. And then last question from Orgvism. You think we'll keep Justin Reed around after the season?
No. They brought in young safeties for a reason. I don't know how this shakes out. The Chiefs will invest into certain guys. We will have to see. As far as with Justin Reed, it's a little bit too early, so we're only 5 games in. So we got the 12 games and what's 4 more games to make the Super Bowl, or 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're all about cost cutting over there, and Beach wants to save those dollars to be able to pay the O linemen who are Trey Smith and Nick Bolton. So you gotta cut costs and invest where you want to in O line and your linebacker. So
gotta be smart about it. And we are pretty deep secondary safeties. We've invested some draft capital in the safeties.
I mean, Hicks showed flashes in preseason. Obviously he's still young, but with him and Cook, it's still 2 young guys. Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this post-game reaction show, late night show on Monday. I was thinking about this last night during that Dallas Cowboys and Steelers game. Game didn't start till 10. The game didn't end until around 12:55 a.m. last night. I was thinking, man, if we have that show, we'd be going on to 2 in the morning.
Yep.
But thankfully, we were out about by 12:30. But JD and I will be back on Wednesday for our usual show, our Chief Concern show Wednesday this week. So yeah, if you guys haven't come on our show yet, please, Chief Concerns. You guys can catch us Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and every post game show you guys can catch us. So if you guys enjoy the show, we'll see you guys next time. Love you, fellas.
Love you guys. We'll see y'all.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.